Hello and welcome to this week's drawing video. We are going to look at another drawing of Leonardo da Vinci of his horse. This is a front view. We are going to draw a rectangle that's centered on this piece of paper. So I'm going to get out my HB pencil. I'm going to sharpen it. We're going to go through the process of centering this rectangle. So this is a long skinny rectangle. This is the whole drawing, but it's cropped. I have cropped it so that it will be closer to the edge and easier to measure. We're going to see how this goes, but this is 9.5 tall and 3 inches wide. So we got to find the center point of the paper. I'm going to make 3 lines. Now my paper is 12 inches wide. Your paper may not be that same dimension. So I want you to center it based on your paper. You're going to measure this distance across. You're going to divide that in half, and then that's where you're going to put your marks. You're going to put 3 tick marks. And then a light line down the center. And then I'm going to measure from the perforation to the edge, and in my case that's 9 inches, but yours may not be 9 inches. So I'm 4.5. I'm going to measure 4.5 3 times. Okay, and this is going to show me where the center of the paper is. Okay, so I've got to measure 9.5 inches. Half of 9.5 inches is 4 3/4. So I'm going to put my center line at 4 3/4, and I'm going to mark the 0 and the 9.5. And I'm going to do that over here. And then I'm going to do that over here. And that's going to show me the edge here. Now, I'm only 3 inches wide. So I'm going to put it on the 1.5 inches and then mark the 3 and the 0 and the 0 and the 3 and then the 0 and the 3. Okay, and then make these lines. And I've got sets of tick marks here, and I'm just going to draw in between the 9-inch lines that I made that are 3 inches apart. Okay, now the rest of this I can erase. And I've got this nice, neat box that's centered on the paper. And I didn't press very hard, so it's all just going to disappear. Now I've got my box. Okay, I want to compare this box to the horse. So conveniently, Leonardo has put these construction lines here and has not erased them. So just to see where they are, I'm going to actually measure this. Okay, and one of them is at about 5 inches down. That's this one that goes across his shoulders here. Okay, so I can show myself that one. Okay, that's a construction line. And then the other one is about 7/8 inch higher than that. Okay, so this is going to help me. And then the hooves are right here at the bottom. They're actually touching the bottom of the square. And I've got his rib cage almost touching the edge of the box. And then his ears, well, his ears almost touch the box, but then it seems like there's a little bit of a mane up there. So I'm gonna use those areas especially and to create landmarks. So the bottom of this, I'm gonna judge that the center is about here. Here's my center. I'm gonna go just off of that and make the bottom of the hooves. And then over here is about in the middle. Okay, then up here, this is coming off of this construction line. There's a little circular line right there. And then a line that comes up here. Oh, that's too far in. Okay, or too far close to the box. And none of these lines do I want to make dark or press. And here, this line up here, this construction line, is where he bulges most outward. So I'm looking where these lines are in relationship to the construction line. All right. Now, I've got to connect his shoulders here with the hooves down here, and I've got to connect this rib cage area with the top of the horse. I'm gonna put these in here. Okay, and then let's see. Yep, I'm right about the dimensions, so I've got to work with this. And I don't have to do this in this order. I'm just choosing which lines seem to be most straightforward to me. And then I'm going to go from there. Also, I'm drawing this flat so that you can see it, but it would be helpful to hold things up like this to be able to compare. Okay, so if you feel you need to do that, or you can work in an easel, also a huge advantage, or you can put something underneath your drawing so that you can see a little better, because this actually foreshortens your view and makes it more difficult. So when I rewatch these videos, I see all my mistakes that I can't see as well when I am actually making the drawing, because I'm looking at it flat. Okay, so I am not pressing hard here at all. There's a hint of a line up here. Okay. We have to borrow a little confidence here for some of these lines. I'm going to go back in with a darker pencil with some of these. Because just pressing hard is not the solution. Okay, so this shoulder comes straight out of this line and then goes out and back in. These knees are roughly at the halfway point. And I want to think about, like, where is this compared to this? So I actually think I might need to bring this hoof over. I'm observing this contour. This one was too far over. And there's this V shape here in the middle. I need to make sure I bring his chest down far enough. And it's amazing the way this is drawn, because this is just pencil marks on a piece of paper, but you can feel that texture of horse skin because it has really short hair and it's got that velvety texture, and yet you can see the muscles underneath. I mean, it's incredible that he was able to capture that with a line. Okay. Okay, so this kind of comes out here. I don't think I have this thick enough. This leg is not wide enough, so I need to move this over. So I'm sketching really lightly. I'm not doing a lot of this kind of thing. Sketching still can be continuous. You just want to have a light hand so that you can move things around. Yep, and I need to move this guy over because I moved this one over. But I want to be careful that I'm not using too much, leaving too much space. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna try again. Yeah, I think this is a little wider than I had it. There's a little bit of symmetry here. And again, I don't have a super dark pencil. I'm not pressing hard. I can move these lines around as much as I need to. A little bit. Okay. So I have some basic lines here. There's this breast area of the horse. We got some contour there. Okay, so I'm gonna lay in some of these shaded lines. These should not be smudged. They are not smudged. There is nothing helpful about smudging. All it does is kill your drawing. this light and shadow, as always, is going to help define the shape of the horse. So you see how flat it was, and now just with a couple of lines, shading lines, it's starting to look like something. Now here we've got some shading. It seems like it's just repeated lines. Okay, and he's changing the pressure a little bit through here. Trying to imitate the direction of his line really carefully. Because if I can handle my pencil the way he handled his, I am going to learn from him. His touch as a master is something I'd like to imitate in my own work. So we're going to copy his work in order to do that. And I'm carefully looking at, where do these lines go? Where do they end? And some of you are starting to do this really beautifully. Okay. I'm not happy with this contour, so I'm going to improve it. While I'm here, since I've come back to it, it's a little more fresh to me. And I'm going to go in with a darker pencil, I think, to get all of these outside lines. Okay, there's a little bit of shading here. Here's some lines I missed. I help define the face. A little bit of shading. Okay. There's a little bit of change of direction here. Maybe to kind of soften this texture. We talked about this in the last drawing. Okay, I'm gonna go in with a darker pencil. I'm gonna choose a 3B, which in my case is not sharp. So I'm gonna sharpen it, and then I'm really gonna try to go in here and imitate these dark lines that Leonardo has made. Okay. And now this horse is starting to come to life. And it looks like he traced over these a couple of times. Just perfecting those contours. This is a contour line drawing that we're doing right now. and you can see how effective it is. We got that horse skin. These darker marks kind of unite everything and bring some more dimension. And here I'm basically counting the lines that he makes. And we're gonna keep looking right around here. I think I need to sharpen my pencil, because as I have a sharp pencil, I have a little more control over everything. It's easy, especially when you're beginning and you're not quite watching yourself. It's easy to just keep going with the pencil until it gets so dull it's making a horrendously ugly line, but don't do that. We're just gonna keep winding around this horse's face. These nostrils being a little bit dark unites the drawing. You can see how up here it doesn't feel like it quite goes, but then as we add dark marks, it gets better in terms of feeling unified and finished. I got like some chin hairs on this horse. Okay. I want to get the horse's facial lines right. And to some degree, I'm just going over things that I already have in a lighter value of pencil. My construction lines have served to help guide me. Okay, I want to get a little bit more of this depth here. So I'm gonna watch that just for a minute. Got a little bit of darkness here, maybe an extra stray line or two. I'm gonna go back to my HB. Got a little bit of value here. And the paper is 500 years old or 550 years old. So we see some bleed from the material. Okay, I think we're good on this one. Not very long, but we've still accomplished measuring against the box that we made, measuring against lines that we've made as we've gone through this. And so we've done our weekly practice, and it's looking good. We've accomplished the task. I look forward to see your drawings.